New report, 5 pilots coming forward over the weekend saying they've had multiple mid-air encounters with high-flying, fast-moving objects.
The New York Times speaking with 5 Navy pilots who've all said they've encountered UFOs during training missions up and down the East Coast.
Now our next guest is sounding off in a brand new series on History Channel called Unidentified Inside America's UFO Investigation. Christopher, do you believe the UFOs exist?
We know that UFOs exist. This is not no longer an issue. The Navy itself has publicly acknowledged the fact that they exist, and Navy pilots, active duty pilots, have gone on the record in the New York Times acknowledging the fact that they exist. So the issue now is, why are they here? Where are they coming from? And what is the technology behind these devices that we're observing?
It's old. At least one of them is old. I don't know if it was the one I worked on, but I remember something to do with an archaeological dig.
Whoa.
So that means it's not just old, it's ancient.
That'd be a great Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Right?
I have seen the logs. I have seen the videos. We have attempted shoot downs of UAPs on a regular basis. We're talking as recently as last Friday.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
Now, some people are really good at lying. And, I've been tricked before, and I'm sure you have too. There's some people that are just sociopaths. They're really good at...
Yeah, they don't even know they're lying. They're convinced in their own head while they're spinning it.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Alien Addict on this fine and on the verge of disclosure. No, we're not. Evening. It's interesting. Some may say, hell, why did the boys over an Alien Addict not go live and do this while it was all happening? That's because we like to sit back and let it fester a little bit, let the air just go a little bit moist. Then we can just take it all in and sniff it up and then regurgitate some shit out to you. So without further ado, my ginger-bearded warrior, Lee.
Hiya.
Are we going to regurgitate?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We've got other things to say.
But to be perfectly honest, there's been so much. I've been off work today, and before I went out in my garden to do some stuff, I was sat looking on YouTube, and I couldn't move for
David Grinch, David Flinch. What's his name?
About your man. Yeah, videos of your man. Grusch. No,
Grinch?
that's a beer. Yeah, I think it's Grusch.
At least that's the other two boys.
Yeah.
David. Stu.
Good evening.
How do you pronounce his surname?
Grusch.
Grusch.
Oh.
Like Frush.
Yep. That's the one.
Right. I remember that. It rhymes with Frush. Grusch. I'm sorry, David. I do want to get you on an interview. I'm not saying you got Thrush or you name it sounds similar to Thrush, but it would be nice. He's
David's
not
even my real
any
name.
shows. And he's another David as well. Oh,
Am I?
Actually, no, yeah, I don't think you're actually called Dave, are you? You liar.
Yep.
What a mad week.
Mental.
What happened this week?
Oh, we had this guy called David Grusch.
Sounds trustworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holly came back.
Ex-military.
Oh, you got to trust that guy.
Credentials, solid.
Nice.
He's heard that they have extraterrestrial craft. Jesus, I had one sip. And bodies. Yeah. But he's not seen them. He's been told this.
Yeah.
Seems more likely. Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of
conspiracies.
No, that's it. That's all I do. No, I don't watch a lot of like other live streams because I don't have time. You know, like live streams are long. I don't have time to watch them all. So today, when I was doing some like tidying up in the house, I did listen to Lou Review's show from yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you watch it as well?
I watched the one with the. This is what I was going to say. You talked about the one with the body language.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that was it was an excellent thing to bring up because there is something truly out of place with Mr.
I picked up on that a wee bit. I said to Ollie about it when we were on the phone the other day. He's like saying like there's yes and truth was supposedly coming out his mouth, but his head's constantly doing this.
It was that bit as well. I noticed when I watched the first time watching the body language guy picked it up as well. It's when he goes like believe it or not, and it's exactly what you would say when you're trying to convince someone of something.
Yeah,
it's very strange, very weird. The other one, I mean, we just did a show. One of our was our Rumble? Sorry, was that our Rockfin exclusive show? Did we do that about whistleblowers? We did a whistleblower show, but I can't remember.
That was Sunday.
That was last night's show.
We did that's a great show, and you should go on Rockfin and watch it right now because
Rockfin.
I'm so rubbish. Oh no, yeah, don't go watch it now. If you can't go watch it now, it'll be published at the end of this episode. But I fucking derailed myself now with what I was going to say.
You were talking about his body language.
Whistleblowers. Sorry, like history has not been kind to whistleblowers.
No.
And like whistleblowers don't get like 60-minute specials on news shows when they come out like saying things about the government. They get shot in the back of the head twice, and they get ruled the worst case of suicide you've ever seen.
That's the best scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they, there's worse things that can happen.
And everybody in the chat, we know there's a lot to discuss. We've got UFOs landing in people's back garden as well this week. It's been a fucking mind fuck. But David, what do you make of Grusch?
I think he's a government man.
He's
a government man on mainstream media.
Do you think
beware?
Do you think he's been told this and believes it, or he's just been told to spin it?
No idea. I mean, really, I've only seen the interviews that he's put out of him, and that's not enough. Like, you would need to see him talk in a more casual conversation. Does his mannerism? Does he keep up with his story? Right? Because here's the thing: like, body experts are all great and grand. You can't tell anything about anyone from one interview. You have to have a history of a person communicating. Anything else is bullshit. It's kind of like an online psychological exam. You know what I mean? Like, well, I can tell by what he's saying. You need to take that guy's license away. Nobody listen to him because you can't do any kind of analysis like that. You can get an idea because of certain things trend, people in the public trend. But, what did he do for the military? That's important. You know,
Yeah.
some people, is he a sociopath? Was he selected to do X because he is a sociopath? You know, they have testing. They figure out who people are. That's not. These tests exist for a reason. You know, if he had a security clearance, they know a lot about him. Yeah. So, I mean, he's a mainstream government guy. Okay. He's talking about UFO and aliens. Okay. But if he's talking about it as hearsay, which is interesting, that's a good way to do it because you're not actually breaking any rules or laws. Like, he's talking about something he was told. That other person, they broke some laws. He didn't. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. We've only seen the one. Time will tell, right? It'd be great. If he's telling the truth, that's great. If he's telling the truth, that's awesome. Right? That's an awesome thing. Seems unlikely, but
my BS meter's bouncing at 11 at the moment with them. I'm just as skeptical as fuck.
But we haven't seen the full interview yet, have we?
No, Sunday.
Sunday, the full interview rolls. So I feel like if that doesn't roll before our show, we may end up doing an early show in the weekly. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. The other thing I found interesting about it was, he reminded me of David Fravor when David Fravor first started doing interviews, like the early Fravor interview. When he was he was rabbit in headlights, and you just think, I wonder if there's going to be some more of these before till the story gets a bit smoother, and then you'll get the inevitable trip to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Which Joe Rogan's already mentioned as well. He's already mentioned on one of his shows, like, why didn't we get him on? And
Joe Rogan's mentioned this.
Yeah, and he said we should get him on. And then he said, really? He said, go into like news night or whatever it was called. He said, why didn't he just get in touch with us first? And Jamie replied to Rogan saying, you'd probably ask him too many questions.
The thing is, see, like, he's coming from one part of the Department of Defense, and the departments that he's involved with are totally up for him being there and speaking his truth. Mm-hmm. But the people at the Arrow, the UAP people, on the other side of the Pentagon or wherever they're based, they're completely freaking out about the fact that he's doing this. So you've actually got two different entities within the Department of Defense in America going at it. One lot wants to start disclosing, the other lot doesn't. So what the hell's all that about?
I don't know.
I believe that.
I feel it's just more they're cogs in the same wheel, and it's like because you can have it. It's in the same ways. I know we were discussing on the show the other day. Sorry, in our chat the other day.
Thank you, Lee. Welcome to the show for the 99, my lad.
You have a set thing that happens now with this stuff that comes out when it comes to mainstream media. You have Jeremy Corbell or George Knapp will come on and verify it. Then you've got West will come out and debunk it. And that satisfies both areas, but it keeps the conversation moving along. And it's really controlling and channeling like discussion about these things, I think, because we end up talking about these things within the box that they're presented to us.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good way of controlling a narrative.
What's quite interesting though is Corbell and Knapp are fighting over Grusch. They're saying, "Oh, we've been handling him for months now," but Greer's now put his hat into the ring and said, "I've been, mentoring him and
he's denied
telling
it.
him what to do." And he's put out statements through people basically saying, basically bugger off. I want nothing to do with you, Dr. Greer. And Greer's going hard on it. I mean, he is ignoring that, and he's like, I have helped this guy. I've done this. I've done that. I've done the next thing. Mentored him, guided him through, got him in to see congressmen, different people in different committees. I mean, he's really, laying it on thick. And I think he's just doing that because he's got his disclosure thing coming up this week.
Does anybody not find that timing odd, though? You've got David Grusch coming out with the whole... because we've got extraterrestrial craft. He didn't say extraterrestrial, but we've got craft, yeah. And then you've got a UFO landing in the back garden of some family, yeah. And then you see,
but there's been something nearly every month, Ollie.
But it's just the build up to this, and then Greer's about to just like put his 4 balls on a plate. It's going to be. I mean, this is for Greer. This is probably the biggest thing since what he did in what was the year? Was it 2000?
2001.
Yeah. 2001. This is the thing. So
I think this is Greer's last grift.
Greer's
he'll come up with something.
Use that.
Yeah, no, I do. I think this is his last, because especially when you look at the pricing of this thing, the pricing is ridiculous.
It's $100 or something to watch it online.
The conference is free, but anything else surrounding it is $100. If you want to go there, it's $1,000. If you want priority seating, it's $1,500. If you want something, it goes up to like $5,000. These tiers.
Well, that's cheap for him. I'm surprised he didn't hit $10,000.
Yeah, you don't get his app, but I think this is. I think he's going to come out of this looking like a complete fool, and the whole shebang's going to look stupid.
Well, can I just admit something? I actually gave the guy a tenner today and downloaded his documentary, the new one, The Lost Century, How to Reclaim It, just out of sheer curiosity, because obviously I'm working on a Greer documentary, which will be out sometime, probably at this rate next year. But anyway, I love how when within the first 2 or 3 minutes, it puts him down as the world's top ufologist expert, and cocksucker of presidents on his own documentary.
I swear, the only place for Greer's documentaries is going direct to BitTorrent. It's fucking useless.
It's awful. The thing is, what I can do is I'll probably get a refund on it, and just say it's crap because I've watched it all.
Listen. One thing I will say for the documentaries that anybody's in the UFO field is, I always buy them, because at the end of the day, you never know what information is going to be in there. There might be some, and because it's UFOs, I kind of like to support it.
Yeah. See the documentary though. Is that a third phase production?
Yes,
it is, right? Because this time they have avoided any kind of title sequence. He just goes straight into it, without, there's no edited by or a film by or anything like that, or made by the Cousins brothers. There's none of that up front.
Interesting, but yeah, it is third phase doing the.
I think Lee, you reckon? While we're on, we've got 71 people in the chat. If 71 people, if you hit that like, let's get it up to 100. Let's get it up to 1,000 likes. This video. If it gets 1,000 likes, me and Lee are both coming on next week naked.
Stop doing this.
I got naked.
Weird.
You only naked with
they won't see the bottom. I'm always naked anyway.
I know, you send us pictures. Stop.
Dave, I'm sharing a bed with you when we go away.
It's borderline harassment at this point, Ollie.
It is
borderline harassment.
Stu, would you like to? Stu is working on a little project before the Greer documentary. We are going to get back onto Grusch, and the Alien in the Garden very soon. But there is a little bit of an announcement, because the Greer's kind of taken a little bit of a back burner. There's a bit of a practice run with a Bob Lazar documentary. Stu,
yes,
tell us a little bit about it.
We're doing
Know Our Worth. Know Our Worth.
Yeah, we're doing a Bob Lazar documentary. and it's the first one that we're sort of putting under what we call Alien Addict Productions, and we're kind of doing it ourselves. You guys are chipping in. Lee's going to be doing the narration for it, and yeah, it's going to be good. And we've actually, through my research and you guys chipping in, and also some of the members have been emailing, and we've got info from them and that. Dave's been providing some valuable info, actually. But we've got some juicy sort of new details, and I've been today I had an interview with the old Professor Simon from his channel.
Love him.
Oh, he's a good lad. I like him. I was actually on doing a thing for him, just having a quick chat. He wanted me to give advice on what you should do in taking videos of UFOs, that kind of thing. But I managed to get him to also input on the Bob Lazar situation. He actually raised, I'm not going to say what it is just now, but he actually raised a brilliant point that I'd never even thought about, that nobody has brought up ever. And that's now going to go into the documentary, because it's very, especially just now with all the whistleblower stuff going on, it's very prevalent what he said. So it's going to be a good one.
So far, you've got about an hour's worth edits. This is going to be a full-length documentary.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be around about an hour and a half, hour and 3/4. I've rough cutted maybe about a third of it, and I'm covering his education in the Los Alamos side of things. There's that much really good information about Bob Lazar out there now. Jeremy Reese, Tom Mahood, and literally dozens of other people, including a whole Reddit thread. I've done research over the years, but the problem with what they've done is it's all been located in different websites and different parts of the web, and nobody's really brought it all together. And that's what I'm going to try and do with this documentary, is basically bring all this information that they've gathered and put it together in a package that hopefully will be entertaining for people to watch. So that's what we're kind of going for.
Without further ado, folks, you support the channel. So let's make this happen. And
Definitely.
This is the a little teaser trailer for the upcoming documentary.
It's a long, detailed story. Robert Scott Lazar.
Bob 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 Lazar.
Is he worthy of our trust?
I'm known for working at a classified base.
Is there any doubt that he worked at Area 51?
Area 51.
What's really going on at Area 51?
We want to be accurate. Okay. Area S4.
I mean, I thought I set the record straight 30 years ago.
Welcome to your life.
That
And there you go.
So good. That editing is so
Thanks,
good.
Dave.
But there's a lot more to it than just clips. There's loads of juicy stuff in there. I can't wait.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff there that, again, it sat out on the web and it was just waiting for somebody to mine it and refine it and put it together properly, and hopefully we'll do it justice.
So it's got to be good after all the smack talk we talk about third face documentaries.
Well, yeah, this is the thing.
That's it.
I've got to bring the A game on this one, you know. 'Cause I do give them a hard time. So do you guys, but yeah.
So the reason why I put Bob Lazar in the beginning of the intro for this live stream was I actually didn't think about the fact that you was putting the trailer in, but it's kind of like the whole. I'm wondering if have you ever thought that Bob could have? It could have been that Bob was meant to come out with that. You know, it wasn't all just supposed to. Stu, you try and not blow your load here, because I don't want you to give.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to give away the sort of main part of the documentary, but I could see how you could come to that conclusion. of him being manipulated. I think it's the best way to sort of put it.
Or a paid disinformation artist.
Yeah. Especially since the conversation I had with Simon, Professor Simon today, and what he said really rounds off that whole potentially could be manipulated. He could also, as Lee says, be a paid disinformation, but I think it's more likely manipulated because it's well known that prior to him supposedly going to work for EG&G at S4 and doing all that stuff, he was literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and had to go bankrupt. I mean, that's common knowledge. There's documents out there that show the bankruptcy and who he would what to and all that kind of stuff. So he was under an awful lot of financial pressure. And it could well be, if we go down with the Leaves hypothesis theory, that he needed the money. Or if he was manipulated, he was maybe, shall we say, potentially blackmailed, because there's things that we've uncovered about his past. Again, I'm not going to go into detail just now, but let's just say in today's society, people would take a very dim view of what Bob's, been up to in the past. But the other thing that I've got to be careful of is this is a real guy. He is married. He has a family, in the larger sense of things. This is all 30 odd years ago. So, he's got a life. He's just recently moved to Oregon. I'm not wanting to destroy the guy's life, and hopefully the documentary will not do that. It will clarify things so that maybe he'll get a bit of peace now and have less people chasing him. But it's blown my mind, the amount of information that's out there if you go looking for it. But it's a deep rabbit hole that you
got to
go
do
down.
the research. Yeah.
I have literally, I would say in the last 3.5 weeks, watched 90 plus hours of interviews, podcasts, and read literally pages and pages and pages of like Medium documents and articles, and just pulling it all together and getting it so that one thing connects to the other, and try and create a timeline of his life, which has been difficult to do.
So let's get on the Grusch train, because I know people really want to hear about that. The Bob Lazar's come back. I think the Bob Lazar thing is so relevant because there's a pattern over the years, and that is that people like to tell a story.
It's basically the same thing. From Bob's perspective, he experienced this experience working at S4 allegedly, whereas Grusch is everything's hearsay, and I've heard from people high up that this is happening, that's happening, the next thing's happening in regard to, alien craft, bodies recovered, materials, all that kind of thing. Dave pointed out just before we came on that, in fact, what did Dave say? Dave, are you still there?
He'll gone to the toilet.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just eating, and I don't want to show that.
What was it you said about
allegedly?
Allegedly. The fact that what he's saying and the way he's saying it is not going to get him a jail sentence.
Yeah, correct.
Whereas the people who have effectively told him are going to be the ones in trouble.
Yeah, he's saying what he's heard. He's not bound by anything that he signed. He didn't sign anything. Whoever told him something did. Something else to think about, like with Bob Lazar, that people never talk about. It's like, so he had to get some kind of security clearance just to get out there.
Well, interestingly enough, I actually had contacted the FBI asking about security clearances, mainly to do with the Bob Lazar documentary. Mm-hmm. And they sent me a really nice email back saying basically, bugger off, we're not going to put somebody on camera with you. But here's some really nice links to all of our resources on security clearances. Yeah. So that's another rabbit hole I've been down this week on how long it takes to get a security clearance, what they exactly do, at what level, of clearance and that kind of thing. And it's like 8 months plus to get a clearance.
So that's what they say. But I have a friend going through it right now, and it's projected to be 24 months plus.
Yeah, no,
and back then it took even longer because they actually interviewed people. But here's the thing to consider: when you get one, he was married at the time. They would have investigated his wife too, and they also get into finances. So, like, if he had discharges in the past, bankruptcies, people he owed, that will immediately disqualify you because you can't be someone that can be easily financially levered.
Yeah,
that makes sense. You can't be bought. Yeah.
No, totally agree with you. But in terms of like what Grusch has done and stuff like that, it's certainly interesting, as we talked about before, the fact that he's coming from one part of the Department of Defense, and you've then got the UAP, the Aero. Is it? I don't even know what does the Aero thing stand for. Arrow or whatever it is.
I didn't know what it stands for, but I've had 2 beers. I can't remember.
Yeah, well,
They
keep changing the name of it, but anyway, they're not. Yeah, they are not
Somebody in the chat
on him speaking about this at all. Whereas his bosses and people from the part of the world that he seems to be hailing from, the geospatial intelligence, whatever the hell that is, that they seem to be wanting him to speak out. So as I say, my bullshit meter, I'm like skeptical as fuck, you know. Just to me it just is all a bit too convenient. It really is. I mean, you look at his body language and stuff, it's just I'll reserve judgment till I've seen the full interview on Sunday, and then we'll see what it's said on Monday.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
The things with the body language thing, I tend to think that he may have been told all this stuff.
Well, that's what the body language guy said in watching the thing. Well, one thing we should always do is body language thing. Anyone that calls themselves a body language specialist, and I'm not saying it's not a thing, you can't go and take a course in fucking body language. Do you know what I mean? Any of us can think we can read people well enough to go and start doing body language stuff. You know, it's just one of those things. It's like what is it, chiropractor? And I'm not saying the guy's wrong, but as he kept saying, he said this could be an indication, or it could be the fact that he doesn't 100% know whether he can trust the information he's being given. So at that point, it kind of debunks the body language specialist himself. You
might know this, Dave. CIA and all that. Somebody that has a job like Grusch, there'll be training out there for these people that under interrogation, when you've got high level fucking body language experts looking at them, they can manipulate that because these people can pass fucking lie detector tests. That's the thing, is it not?
I mean, kind of. Yes and no. So he didn't say that he was a operative. He didn't say that he was an operator. He didn't say that he was in clandestine services. He said that he's in geospatial, so he's a computer nerd.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably very true because his background would back that up.
But what I'm saying is, if somebody wanted to, if there was a spin to make us believe this, whatever he's saying, and they wanted to get past, say they wanted to get past a lie detector.
Yeah, you tell him this. Yeah, and then he'll. Yeah, because he's been told it is what it is. Like if there's my theory is like if you know, what do I know? I don't know anything. But if I was going to do it, I would have someone who worked for me. If I had a position like that and I had anyone that did work for me, I would have them go and talk to him, work him up, spin him up after I knew enough about him or got enough of a psychological profile that I knew how he would react. And then I would turn him loose. It's kind of what I think kind of happened with and we'll see in the Bob Lazar documentary, but that's always kind of what I believed. Like, did Bob work on it? Maybe he did. Maybe he did go somewhere. if he did get a clearance, they knew everything about him. I mean, they know everything. They talk to your kindergarten teacher. They talk to your third grade best friend. They know about the parties you used to have and rave at high school. They used to know that you were, King Chugalug or whatever it was in college. Like, they'll know.
Yeah,
they don't joke.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they'll know. So if this guy's in geospatial, he's dealing with that. He definitely has some kind of clearance. Yeah. I mean, anything's possible. Like I said, we've only seen clips, right? I don't like the idea of rushing to judgment based on just the clips I've seen. I would want to see his full interview and then other interviews, and then we can make an assessment. The beauty of Bob Lazar is we have decades to work with, right?
That's fair. It just, like Ollie said before, it just seems all so convenient. This whole ramp up, there's just there's never a moment where it's dipping. It's just slowly building. I can't think that that's organic. Like the whole thing seems to be rolling out like some sort of story.
It's also quite interesting that we haven't heard from Lou Elizondo, we haven't heard from Hal Puthoff, we haven't heard from Chris Mellon or any of those TTSA RX.
Chris told him it. Chris told him what to say.
All right, that explains it. But no, we haven't really heard from that sort of camp either. I mean, it's just really convenient.
Just quickly, Ollie, that you think that, don't you think Chris Mellon is the informant?
I think it's something to do with it. Yeah.
But why? Like, what's the thought process here?
Just
Gary Nolan's involved. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I don't think Gary's got. I think
the
Gary.
The production. I'm surprised Chris Nolan's not involved.
There's something with. I mean, Chris. He's got a background coming from these high up families.
Yeah, Carnegie Mellon.
He's been around a while. I've heard people talk.
Somebody said in the chat, Lou's tweeted about it. I hadn't seen that. So there we go. We have heard from Lou.
I don't think Lou's the guy. I think Mellon might be the guy.
I don't think it's either of them.
I have no idea.
I think the stuff. I've no basis around that other than the fact that season 3 of UFO Disclosure is going to need new characters. So we've just had a new character, and if this was a narrative that's being played out, then the guy that gave the whistleblower the information would also be a new character with a deeper place in government. That's my bet.
Somebody just said in the chat, actually, there's another whistleblower supposedly to come forward. Mm-hmm. So that might be what you're talking
informer.
About.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll find that will be I think you'll find he'll be deeper in with security clearances.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they come with receipts and videos and.
Could you trust a video now?
No.
Could you?
No.
With what AI can do,
especially
civilians can do with AI, but you imagine what the government can do, or the government behind the government can do with AI that we do not see.
See the software that I was playing around with a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
they just released Generation 2, and it's scary what you can do with it. You can literally upload a still image of, let's say, an alien autopsy or a UFO or some still from a movie, and it will literally build a whole 4.5-5 second clip at the moment in full HD around that image.
Wild.
It's crazy what it can do now.
It's like you said, Lee. It's building to something. I know there's a few of our friends on other channels are all about it's just a grift, it's just a money making grift, and this is the thing. I kind of think it's a little bit bigger than that.
I'm I don't think they're making the money. That's the thing. Like, I don't think, like, Mellon, I don't think he's not making any more money now than he was in a
Mellon's got
professional.
fucking shitloads of money.
No, but what I mean is he's not making any more money now coming out as the UFO guy than he was as like a professional.
So what is he getting?
Exactly.
Because he doesn't need it.
Unless he's still doing his job. And that's my opinion of these people. I think they're all still doing their job. Their job now, for some reason, is to convince, like, Mary and Danny that live down the road, and like Mary's a cleaner, Danny is a car mechanic, just normal people that don't watch or engage in this sort of stuff at all. Their job is to make Mary and Danny believe in UFOs. I don't understand why. That's the important bit here. What he's saying actually doesn't fucking matter. It's the reason for it.
It's his alleged credibility and the normies. See, the people watching this, like, we're all frustrated by it because we're not normal people.
Well, do you know what I find crazy, Dave?
We would be committed.
No, what I find more crazy than anything else is, and this is kind of at the whole UFO community, they're all fucking morons. The minute somebody says something
Apart
that
from
they
our
want to hear,
subscribers.
no, some of our subscribers as well.
Oh, I'm definitely a moron.
Yeah,
I am.
The minute somebody says something that they want to hear, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's great." Like, hang on a second, guys. Like, we're supposed to be conspiracy theorists here. Like, we don't trust the government. Remember that bit where we don't trust the government, guys? And now it doesn't matter. Now it's like, oh no, we wait for government disclosure. Oh.
See the amount of tweets I have seen this week of Bob Lazar was right all along.
Yeah.
That's been, oh, by the way, somebody in the chat has said, what's the title of the documentary? It's a play on Corbell's documentary. It's Bob Lazar, Secrets, Lies, and Flying Saucers. So it's deliberately aiming towards what his title was, because in my documentary, we mention Corbell and we talk about his connection to Lazar and how close he is to him and the potential grift angle on that.
You know what I would like to see as a title for a Bob Lazar documentary at some point? Hose, Machine Guns, and Pimpin'. Story of Bob
the
Lazar.
Game.
Yeah, you could definitely do that with what he's been up to in his life.
Yeah, I grabbed some titles.
You see, George and Jeremy Corbell, they had the interview with Grusch. They spoke to Grusch. What's his fucking name? Rhymes with Grusch. They spoke to him ages ago. Yeah, they spoke to this guy. I don't think they're in on it. I think, if anything, he was introduced to them.
Who? Sorry.
If we're talking conspiracy and we're talking that where the people are put in the right place at the right time to spin the whole UFO thing, I think Jeremy and George, they're just
useful idiots.
I mean, I like the weapon.
No. I mean that in the most respectable term I can possibly give it. I've just got no other words for it.
No, but you're right.
Yeah.
I'd definitely do mushrooms with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think George would do it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
George looks as if he likes the white stuff.
I was just going to say,
I'm still clear of that. That's not for me.
Hookers. Yeah, he's that's
why he hangs out with Lazar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think they know that as well. I think they know the useful idiots. I think they know. I think they must have an inkling what's going on, and they must just think, well, fuck it, users, it's working for us.
Yeah.
I mean, Corbell's been on every news program all blooming week because of this.
Absolutely. Speed dial by all mainstream media. The minute something is in the sky, he's called.
Yeah,
and as you said already, so is Mick West.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on at least News Nation, CNN, and I think he did Fox as well.
Yeah.
I've spoken to Mick a couple of times. One thing I've never asked him I've always like great debunk or whatever. Have you seen this bit? What do you think to this? Blah 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 blah. It's just a couple of times, and I've asked him on the show. He's a busy man. Maybe one day he will, Mick. I would like to ask him, and I don't think he'd ever answer this on record. What do you actually think is going on? Do you think they're all just grifting it, or do you think there's actually something going on behind the scenes where they want us to believe this? The UFO narrative. That is because he is a clever guy.
But that's undeniable. It's undeniable they want us to believe that.
But why?
I don't know.
The thing is, they don't want us to believe it. They want the normies to believe it. They want the 9-to-5ers to believe it. They want the majority. They want your mom. Who doesn't want your mom? I mean, I've seen your mom. Anyone who's seen Ollie's mom would obviously be on that bandwagon. Ollie, it's an entirely different pod. That's an OnlyFans show.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about me, no, Dave.
It's like an asshole you can hide stuff in.
That's amazing. But they want the normal. Like some of my friends that I meet with that are just totally normal dudes. They're doctors, lawyers. They're very normal guys, very successful guys, very normal guys.
Alan's seen your mum's asshole as well.
Apparently, yeah. That's the only way he would know. Good on you, Alan.
Dragons.
Tell me what it smelled like. Yeah, so
Dave, you're not a rock fin.
It's hard for me to adjust. It's the autism. But why do they want them? Because these guys have brought it up like in my last little Taco Tuesday. It's a very suburban dad thing to do. They're like, hey, did you guys seen this thing that's on like Twitter and they're talking about the UFOs? And of course they look to me because I'm the crazy one. And I'm just like, yeah, don't believe it. They're like, but he's very credible. I mean, the news is talking about it, and it's
my friend Ben messaged me the other day. He's probably, when this goes out as an audio podcast, he'll listen to it eventually when he catches up with the shows. He sent me a message the other morning. I said, I'm just watching like Good Morning Britain, and the two top news stories are like crazy AI and aliens. I might as well be listening to your podcast. And but this is the thing. It's penetrated. It's penetrated normal space. Calm down, Dave.
Go for it, Dave. You know you want to.
Nah. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Low hanging fruit.
But you see, I mean, I tend to believe that this is the way things are supposed to be playing out. The realist in me, and I realize there isn't a lot of that left, thinks that this has been a plan that's been in place since like 2017 when the first like New York Times article came out. If I allow myself to go there, I wonder whether this is a plan that's been in place to play out over decades, and it's just the groundwork was set. The groundwork was set to give the story now a proper backstory from Roswell to Lazar, and now now's the time to ramp up. I mean, we were talking last night on the Rockfin show, which will be was it not last night? Was it last night we recorded it? Wasn't it? Yeah,
it was, mate. Yeah,
that which will be live as soon as we finish doing this show. We mentioned, what did we mention? My
this
head
show.
We
talked about this show last night.
We did talk about this show last night. This is why I'm breaking time. I've had far too much beer and sun this afternoon.
Talked about Ollie's mom.
We did talk about Ollie's mom. This isn't helping me, Dave.
She's distracting. One day I'm going to meet her. She's going to hit me right in the mouth. I'll deserve it.
Yeah, you're going to
deserve it.
I have that
coming. I have that coming.
We spoke about the new documentary. That is on Rumble.
No, I was going to say that we dipped into this because if it's been played out, so this has got this sort of rich backstory of characters they can now pull on. You know, we go back to like the Werner von Braun thing of the like the last card.
Yeah,
the final solution.
Yeah, well, I know like Werner von Braun turned around and said, they would use like communism, then terrorism, then asteroids. and then the last card would be the alien threat. That doesn't mean that if that was true, and I believe, for all intents and purposes, I think I believe that scenario, that's what he said at a certain time. Whether there was any truth behind it or not, it's different, but I believe he said it. It doesn't mean the plan wasn't shifted. So maybe the last card was the fake alien invasion. Maybe the asteroid thing got shifted. Maybe the asteroid thing got nerfed out of the way for, I don't know, some sort of like bug that was going around.
What,
So maybe
here's a thought for you.
No, like
do you
a flu.
think? Yeah. Do you think the fact that the Twin Towers happening?
Be careful.
Yeah,
Stuart,
I know.
Mm.
I know. That incident that we know, the three numbers. Do you think that kind of put a spanner in the works? Because that obviously led to two simultaneous war fronts for a couple of decades, effectively.
I think it was critical. I think that was an event that had to happen.
I agree.
It was a fulcrum to
Right.
move the mass populace to get what they needed in place.
Yeah, that's true.
Steer
From
the
point
world.
of view of like homeland security and being able to listen to everyone's conversations.
The beginning
and
of
that.
the surveillance state.
Yeah.
That like people talk about, people now turn around and say it's like we're going to be in, like, living in 1984. 1984 started then.
Yeah. 1984 started in 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
It's more like Brave New World we're walking into now, to be perfectly honest, if we're going to use it like dystopian sci-fi as our roadmap.
Seeing as we didn't go live when this hit, and we did discuss it, but we said we do. Why did we sit on it, Lee? We said let's wait.
Everybody else was going live.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had shows booked to do. You know, it was only 48 hours ago. Ollie, it's good. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's go. I want to. Let's have a refresh.
That must be a terrible plane, because that plane's got a parachute.
The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the US defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
Grusch sitting down with award-winning investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation and has spent years reporting on the UFO question.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin.
See, that's the thing. So Ross has said, like, on an interview after this, have you seen that where he said he never said alien? What the fuck does he mean then?
If you pay attention to everyone in the mainstream, they avoid that. Nobody says that. Non-human entity, unknown origin. That is the language they use. And honestly, that guy looks like a standard Air Force guy. Looks like a nerd.
Yeah.
Vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
If that doesn't mean alien, what the we have spacecraft, space. If he said we have vehicles from another species, yes, it could be a group of fucking highly intelligent fucking gazelles, but like,
so there's got to be a reason.
Spacecraft.
But there's got to be a reason why the journalist is using that terminology. That's not his, like, information or disinformation that's being put across.
Mm-hmm.
Even the journalist from, essentially, I would understand it if it was like CNN or something like that, because I think like the top line CNN guys and Fox News guys are probably read into this sort of stuff to a degree anyway, so they know how to get the story right when they're doing the interviews.
They'll have their sources that'll keep them in the
Lee,
loop.
do you know the background of this journalist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, with this News Nation being quite small, this is massive for them.
Mhm.
You know, like
Huge.
Who heard of fucking News Nation 48 hours ago? Nobody.
I actually follow News Nation because I quite like
Oh,
Chris
why
Cuomo.
would you destroy my argument?
Well, no, your argument holds weight because right
No,
now
no.
in the world,
Yeah,
like
I get it.
CNN and Fox hold.
I was literally just
no.
going to say I am one of the
BBC,
few.
none. Yeah. So this is an unknown source that's kind of known. This is a huge opportunity for them, and their credibility isn't in question like every other major news entity on the planet right now.
That's a good point.
So I feel that like the reason they're not using that terminology, like alien spacecraft and stuff like that, I've had to do a couple of like interviews before, like in a like for various things, and you're given questions and you're given like little tick sheets and stuff of what you can answer. I believe that interviewer has been told, don't say the A word.
Mm-hmm.
Anus.
Yeah.
Delicious. It makes you think. So, like, to answer Ollie's, like, who is it? It's obvious, Ollie, if you think about it. We're the pets and our former owners are returning. And these are the biggest suck-ups of all the pets. It's the dog who sniffs first.
I can't tell whether Necto, have you pronounced it, is serious or not.
Either way, it's hilarious.
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No.
No.
I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was
just
being
scrub that back
deceived.
to 2 seconds. Right? Is anyone in the UK that's aware of Alan Partridge? The interviewer pulls a full-on Alan Partridge here. Please press play.
Ended or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me.
I went to see Alan Partridge
plenty
live.
of current former
Steve
intelligence
Coogan.
officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career.
Give me another
that
series, you
confided in me.
shit.
They were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof.
Hey, Ollie, how's your mum's oral
was, in fact, a
testimony?
program that the UAP task force was not read into.
That's fantastic.
Grusch alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the.
What do you reckon, Dave? Do you think he shops in LLB?
I think he's probably on the spectrum.
I really hate this stuff.
No,
You
I
know
mean
when-
it. I think he really is. I think he's forcing himself to make eye contact. I think he'd rather look away. I think his body language is incredibly uncomfortable. And like, if you meet a lot of Air Force functioning, they're nerds.
High functioning.
Yeah, they're high, like not enough to be anything. They're just socially awkward dudes. Like, one of my dearest friends is, and he's a little awkward. You guys, Ollie and Lee will meet him when they come out. And his dad was an officer for the Air Force who went to work for the NSA. And he has an interesting alien UFO story. I think I may have brought it up on here. He swore up and down the government knew about aliens. They knew about all that. It was all real. Changed his entire religious, like he stopped going to church. He changed his whole life based on that. And he was moving files and doing connections and data and I don't know, nerd shit for the NSA. Yeah.
I also don't trust people with body warmers.
What's a body?
Body warmers.
Clothes. He's wearing. No, he's
Dave,
wearing a body warmer.
You know, Dave. You know what? Dave owns a body warmer.
Oh yeah, they're really good to conceal your gun.
But I've never. Okay, I'll take that. That's fine. At least it's got practical use. But never have I been in the situation where I've gone. My chest is really cold, but my arms are really warm.
Because you don't carry a full size 1911.
What I will say, if we ever, if you know, Stu, do you know when I said to you the other day, maybe when we all meet up and we make some sort of fucking wicked documentary together, if anybody ever suggests this and says, "Can you stand at the top of them stairs and walk down them, please?"
Make sure I pack my pants. I want to be like fucking bulging.
Saying he gave
Walk
what he
down
calls
the
classified
down the
proof to
road.
Congress and the intelligence community.
I can't stand that shit.
It's good B-roll. It's good B-roll.
Yeah, or looking over the pictures for no apparent reason.
But that's very much what like American cameramen tend to do. It's like, right, walk down these steps, right, walk along this pathway. We'll get you in front of the Lincoln Memorial. Right, that looks good.
Show a bit of an ass. Yeah.
Crotch. See what you're packing.
See, a lot of people say, look, his body language is believable. Like, and then there's the body language guy that's kind of a little bit like he's confused. Is he not like? I got the impression from Lou reviews when I watched that.
It's because it is to an extent, and don't get me wrong, I love like there's a channel. It used to be called Bombard's Body Language.
I love that channel.
She was great. Yeah. I used to watch it all the time. But body language is kind of a grift because it's kind of put across as being almost exact, but realistically, it's just what you think. You know, if you think you're particularly good at reading people, like I think I'm particularly good at reading people as well. But if you think you're particularly good at reading people, you're just as well qualified as those people. You've just done less of it.
Yeah.
And it's like he said, he's been told something. Let's just for a split second say, right, we believe what he's saying. We believe his intentions of that being there are pure. He's been told something.
He probably has from Chris Bell.
He believes what he's being told. I know. I don't even believe this,
I don't think it's
but I'm
Chris
just
Bell.
saying, yeah. But let's say he believes what he's being told, but he still doesn't know if that's the truth. So if you're stuck in front of a camera and you're going to say, well, I believe this, but I could still be getting bullshitted, you're going to be awkward with what you're doing. There's going to be a level of doubt when you put yourself forward like that. So, of course, he's going to be awkward. Personally, I think he's doing his job.
But do you believe he believes what he's saying, or do you believe that do you believe somebody's told him
Somebody
this
definitely
information?
told him. He didn't make it
or do
up.
you believe he's just doing his job, as in he's been told to spin this?
I believe he doesn't care. But like, if it's his job, it will be. I mean,
is he
David
not? He's out of the military now. Is he not? He works in private contracting.
Yeah. I think
The thing about
real
that
estate,
is-
real estate.
Yeah, some. Well, that
unless he got promoted, Stu.
Well,
no, here's the thing.
Or he got contracted by another
I was gonna
outside
say-
agency that owns his real estate company, and then when he tracked down the money, he goes to Booz Allen Hamilton.
I was watching Truth Seekers, and he was looking at something to do with his real estate. Everything where he went in to get a picture of this guy doing his job, there was nothing there. Stephen made a very good point. Real estate people usually have like their picture, like this is your agent.
Especially in the US.
There's nothing. There's nothing with this guy's face on at all. He even did the he's a computer guy, Steve. He did the back thing, you know, where you can go backwards on the internet. There's
Wayback
nothing for
Machine.
this. Yeah, way back. That's it. There's nothing for this guy. Nothing.
Yeah. His social media is completely wiped. There's
So he's a
nothing on
fucking
him at all.
spook then.
Chances are now he could be a privately contracted spook. Dave?
I don't know anything about that.
Now that was a very agreeing nod.
I'll say the people I've met that I believe do work like that, one, they never admit it. Doesn't matter if you have them dead to rights, because here's how it works. If there's 1% doubt in you, then they're doing their job. Most people who are spooks and are privately contracted, or they're private intelligence of some kind, most people in their lives or that they meet usually come to those terms. But the thing is, they don't know. They believe. As long as they're doubt, they're still doing their job. Because you don't know, right? You don't know. So he's still accomplishing his task. And they usually have no social media.
But we doubt it, yeah? We doubt it. And we are still 1 hour into probably a 2-hour show talking about it.
I mean,
absolutely. We've got 90 people watching this now. Hit that motherfucking like button, people. Hit that subscribe.
Go to Rockfin.
and touch your own nipples because you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise not to press the end button this week.
Exactly. Thanks, Stu.
I love
I
the
don't
fact
work for a third phase.
Share it out to people.
I love the fact you say we've got 90 people in the chat and then one disappears. Like, oh no, they've seen me. Bye.
We know
It's
you
dropped
now.
to-
You can't run.
If it suddenly drops to 33, I'll be asking questions.
Give me a second.
I know I sound like a fucking broken record, but here we are. I just think the why is more interesting than the information.
Lee,
And
I'm
the-
with you totally.
and the end
There's
result,
definitely,
yeah.
Don't know where this is heading. It's heading somewhere interesting, but
You're going to be a fully paid up member of Project Bluebeam come the end of this fucking month. I swear.
God, I hope so. As long as they pay me decent money.
So all our friends in fuck it, let's call it a business because it is a business. It's a business that pays fucking very little, but it depends who you are, I suppose.
So Moody Mogul puts out that some of his online social media stuff is still on like Google Cache and stuff. So if he has things like that, then he's probably not. He's just probably trying to clean up his history because he knows people are going to start looking at him.
Okay.
Because the people I know do it, they've never had it. They've never had a Facebook. They've never had an Instagram. They've never had a Twitter. If they do, it's from a ghost account on a burner phone that they have a entirely separate login with a secure email that has nothing to do with what they do. And they wouldn't even look at it in their own house.
Yeah.
One of the guys I know that does that, he doesn't even have Wi-Fi. And when he explained to me why, it made a lot more sense. So, yeah. Yeah. So it just is what it is, man.
Here's the thing, though. From all the people that we've seen speak about this, all our friends, they're talking about this guy and saying, you know, he's come on, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I get that, but I want you guys, truth seekers, Lou. I want you guys to start asking the question: fucking why? Why is this happening? Because this, I don't think this is a grift for fucking money.
Doesn't smell like a grift at the moment. Whereas Lou Elizondo, there was always the carrot of a book, or there was the TTSA thing and the TV show. There was always a little bit of a kind of profit-orientated message in what him and Chris Mellon and Tom DeLonge were doing.
How much people earning from like a History Channel show now?
That the first season, they probably paid them about $2-3 million
each
for that show. No, the whole thing.
It's exactly like this is the thing. These aren't poor men. It's the same with To the Stars Academy. Like people go on about To the Stars Academy being a con, and in some respects it was. It seemed like a pyramid scheme, but they weren't poor people doing it. Tom DeLonge does not need an extra $3 million.
No.
So that's
a weird one.
Yeah.
But the thing with Tom DeLonge, he was already invested into the subject. But
he's into the subject. Yeah.
A lot of so Chris has got a lot of money. Chris got involved with Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, no, but this is what I mean. So To the Stars Academy, like the mission couldn't have been let's just rip people off, because they didn't need to, and the amount that they were ripping people off wasn't enough to warrant the robbery.
I think key players didn't come through. They thought certain elections, certain people were going to be in power, certain things were going to happen.
Let's face it.
That would have allowed them.
They
and
thought
it did not
Hillary
happen.
was going to. They thought Hillary was going to get the presidency, and she didn't.
Because Tom has, conversations and emails with Podesta and like all these different people, and like they thought this was going away and it didn't go that way, and they're like, "What now?" It's like, I don't know, because this wasn't the plan.
Yes, somewhere there is a TTSA full interview with John Podesta that got scrapped. That they thought, "Fuck that, we can't put that out."
I'd love to see that.
Well, did you watch Unidentified? There was a clip, literally. He said about 5 words to John Podesta in a room, and then it moved on.
Oh, there's definitely a full interview
It's a
somewhere.
full fucking conversation with John.
Sitting on a computer somewre or a hard drive, there is a full interview.
And I know you like.
He was
John
probably
Podesta.
too busy. He probably had like some pizza to go and eat.
or chicken wings with some walnut sauce.
Yeah, maybe some pasta.
I think
Oh,
the algorithm,
definitely
I think
pasta.
the algorithm knows
Walnut
exactly
sauce.
what that means.
Cleaning it up with their napkin.
Can't beat a
Well,
can't
this
beat a good
got dark.
dinner, Ollie. Can't beat a good dinner.
Yeah, while you're watching this, people, don't forget to check us out on Rockfin
Because the show's going to be moving there permanently.
Oh yeah.
There is
Yeah.
an exclusive show that goes up on Rockfin every week. It will be live directly after this show. If you go to Rockfin, that show, if Ollie pulls his finger out, will also be on Rumble from now on. If you can't be bothered going over to a completely separate platform, you'll be able to find it on Rumble.
And you can also support us on Rockfin by how did they do that, Lee?
You can subscribe on Rockfin. You can become a subscriber.
If they subscribe on Rockfin, they get not only our content, they get other people's.
Yeah, it's like Netflix. So if you like Eddie Bravo, for instance, if we've got any flat earthers in the chat and you want to watch his stuff, if you go and subscribe to Rockfin, you'll get all Eddie Bravo stuff. You get all Sam Tripoli stuff. You will get my favorite Isaac. What's his surname?
Cappy.
Yeah.
No, Isaac
Newton.
I can't remember his
Asimov.
surname. No. No, do you know what? I'm gonna find it because I'd love to get him on the show one day.
Truth Seekers is on Rockfin now as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to show his name
he's
out.
not
Isaac
on yet.
Wisep. I didn't even need to look at it. He does a load of like satanic, the like decodings of things of like pop music and stuff like that. He's great.
That's weird. We mentioned Rockfin and we lost 10 people in the space of 30 seconds.
Maybe they're going to Rockfin.
Let's do it again, Rockfin.
Come back.
It's gonna go down to 33. Wait and see.
Rockfin.
So we
don't say the name 3 times. The mayor of Chicago will turn up.
So we got Grusch. we got Grusch. We got Grusch this week, and then we get a young man with his family that gets fucking aliens in his
Tall,
garden.
skinny, lengthy alien.
8 to 10 feet. Neighbors are witnesses as well.
Well,
and
allegedly.
Police dash cam, and I know Stu's been looking into that.
Yeah. And doorbells, right? Like the Ring doorbell.
Oh, it gets better than that. George Knapp's just put an update out on KLAS or whatever it is, the Las Vegas news show. There is cell phone video of the beings that they're going to be releasing later, publicly later. Does that not smack of who's going to be the highest bidder?
Yes. Yeah, but wouldn't you? No, I 100%.
That's what I'm interested in right there.
I know I'm with this. But what it'll do is, and I think this is exactly what that lad's done. And for whatever reason, right? I think there's something to this. I never believe anything, so that's weird. I know you think it's a meteorite, and that's fine. It does look like a meteorite, but I
think those are two separate incidents. I think there was something else going on. I think the fact that cop captured that meteorite coming through is just bloody good timing. It's just such good luck that actually happened, because it builds the whole narrative.
But other people reported something falling out of the sky.
Yeah, but I think there was two things going on. I don't think they saw what that copper saw.
I don't know. I mean, it would stand to reason to me that would, because one thing I would say about the meteorite thing is that because I've seen like meteorites before, and it felt like it was going straight across. It never felt low enough that I thought it was going to hit the ground.
No, it would have burned up in the thickest part of the atmosphere.
But that's
if anything did hit the ground, it's going to be like literally the size of a brick.
Oh yeah,
or a decent rock on the beach. It's not going to be very big at all.
But this is the interesting thing.
I think there's something else has happened. Yeah,
maybe.
I think something.
Maybe.
Because see if you look at the news reports that they've done Somebody's put a drone over that guy's backyard. There is a weird ring-shaped impression in the backyard, which they've got surveillance cameras, which supposedly got knocked out during whatever happened. But the footage prior, no ring mark. Then when the camera does come back online, there's this ring mark there.
Yeah, it's weird.
And there's not enough time for it to be generated. Yeah.
That's the first
the ball.
So, let's just for the sake of argument, let's just stick the two things together, because, like I said, you've got other people that are there that are saying something fell to earth. So, if this family had decided they were going to get on the alien hype train and fake something, first of all, they're making a fucking fake emergency call, which, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty problematic if you get in trouble for it.
It is actually a crime in the U.S.
Yeah,
it's a felony, is it not?
Yeah,
nobody
misdemeanor.
And like without going fucking crazy here, like they're Mexican. You know, it's not like it's.
You are on an island, man.
No, but I'm just saying it's not like the.
There's a lot of Mexicans living there.
No, but it's not like minorities are at least give in the media, as far as like the media leaders to believe, given a fair shake when it comes to law enforcement. So maybe that wouldn't be your first thought, is to ring the police and make a fake call.
You guys watch TV.
Secondly, if you were gonna, so they've managed to fake something at the same time a meteorite went over to back it up. That's fucking fortuitous. I think the lad's savvy enough and young enough that he's turned around to his family. If they have like video footage, like proper video footage, I think the lad's savvy enough and where he's gone, let's put this out of fucking selves. So he's made a YouTube channel last night. He's last time I checked last time I checked, he's
have you invited him on, Lee, yet?
No, I don't know how to do that. He had 4,900 subscribers when I subscribed to his channel, and he put that one thing up. I think he'll put the video up himself when it reaches to 10,000 subscribers and he's monetized.
Contact us.
You don't need 10,000 subscribers to monetize. It's 1,000.
Oh, is it?
It's 1,000 plus 4,000 publicly watched hours.
All right, so
he'll get monetized very soon.
And
if he'll get a rep from YouTube, YouTube will reach out to him.
Yeah, there's no way that he's not going to be monetized by the time this is ready to go. Because if that is real footage and he gets that up on a channel, that's going to have a billion views. Billions.
Yeah. No, but
my advice to him, if this is real, do not give it to anybody. Release it yourself, my son.
But this is what I'm
send
saying.
it to us for free.
I'm saying he's doing this.
Send it to us.
Send it to us. We'll send you a lovely gift basket.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let the dog out by a minute.
But I think that's what I think he's doing. I think he's been savvy enough to go like, something's fucking happened here. This is like fucking weird, and
that would change the world.
We'll do it. We're putting this out.
Mm-hmm. That will change the world.
Yeah. I think they've been blue beamed to fuck. I don't think it's real aliens.
Yeah, can I, Lee? You've got a very, very fucking good point there.
Of course I do.
And I hope Stu can hear this when I'm saying this.
He's playing with his dog.
Whoa!
Because
it's better than playing with a pussy.
Obviously, Lee and Ollie don't know.
There's a lot of people that are, so Dave mentioned something very interesting that said, let's just sit on the fence with Grusch. Let's sit on the French with him.
Can you imagine how uncomfortable that would be, sitting on the fence with Thrush?
In some countries, they pay extra for that.
Hit that like button, people. We're not knobheads. I've got a very good point to make.
Sorry, Oliver.
So, Dave mentioned, let's just, let's sit back a little bit, see what happens. Let's wait for the interview. I'm not gonna say the guy's a liar or anything like that. Yeah. What if they've
been dodging the media now?
Yeah. What if
The family.
Grusch is completely gonna fucking blow the lid off something, and they're deflecting by doing something in this guy's back garden to try and deflect the conversation away from Grusch to get it to aliens in the back garden to make us think, oh, it's all fucking bonkers, this shit. You know, it's just something going on with the media.
Yeah, plus Trump got indicted again yesterday.
38 counts.
Yay.
Not good.
And he'll still not go to jail.
But
he can't.
But so Stu, you said about coincidence with the fucking meteorite and the UFO.
Yeah.
Like, is it not a fucking coincidence that the guy comes out and says, yeah, we've got a fucking retrieval program of UFOs in the US. And then what?
We just retrieved one in Las Vegas.
3 days later, one lands in somebody's garden. Is nobody else just like a little bit fucking got their nipples slightly?
No. The world is a stage, Oliver.
Exactly. So what? So are they? They're either very stupid and they think, well, we'll give them this and we'll give them this as well. Overkill, guys. If you're gonna fool us, don't fucking overkill it. You know, you can do something too much to something.
No, I don't. Not in this situation.
Too many cooks spoil the broth.
Not in this situation. Because we have a 24-hour news cycle, which means things disappear really quickly. We have a like a TikTok generation, which want like short, sharp.
Attention span non-existent.
So you can't overdo anything anymore. You can't overdo anything. More is more.
What if he's got an alien dancing and he puts it on TikTok?
Oh my god!
Be fantastic.
That's just below the
8 to 10 feet. 8 to 10 feet, big-eyed, big head. That's what the guy said, right? Like that's the thing. And you heard him crawling on the roof as well.
He said big mouth as well. He did.
Yeah.
Say big mouth.
Plus, one of them sat in his digger and had a play.
Yeah, I heard that too. They were just like, yeah.
They were good. They basically.
I heard that wrong. Got terrified for a second.
This is what happened, right? They basically lost power, crashed their little saucer in the backyard. Some alien
called
dude,
AAA,
Scotty version is like fixing the old amplifiers and putting in some more element 115 to get the old boiler going. And the other three are out having a play out in the backyard. And then once they got it all sorted out, flew off again.
Possibly.
Do you know what? I
hope so. I hope so. I hope that's exactly what happened.
Say it comes in freeze.
Dave. So what? Sorry, Ollie.
They say it comes in freeze.
That's what she said.
But I was joking with Dave this afternoon and said that because I had like an hour to myself after I'd been doing some stuff before I was going to a barbecue. So I sat down and I watched Signs again to get myself in the mood for the coming UFO invasion, and I couldn't help feel that like this story. I think we're gonna get. I think we're going to get a video. Like, remember the news what happened on the news in Signs?
Fucking hell. I was thinking this today when I was listening to a podcast.
That's what I think we're going to get from them. I think we're going to get something very similar to that.
But they're not allergic to water this time. They're allergic to Bud Light.
I mean, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, based aliens.
I'll drink to that.
They're allergic to Bud Light and buckshot. See how it goes.
It's
gonna be amazing. You guys will be in America during the alien invasion.
That'd be wild.
Where it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hope it's not like Cloverfield, and if it is, make sure you ping the footage over to me so I can at least put it up on the channel where you guys are getting probed.
We'll be in the bunker. Waiting it out.
Where have the probing aliens gone? Those guys knew how to party.
Yeah, they did.
It's probably just like, like porn in general, you know, you get bored of one thing and then you move on to the next extreme fucking thing. So
That's it. They got bored of doing the probe, and now like they abduct people to peg them.
Now they just drive heavy equipment. That's the new down. See them out there, assless chaps in a ball gag trying to operate a backhoe.
Yeah.
Instead of take me to my leader, it's spit in my mouth and call me a grey bastard.
That's a t-shirt right there. I'm making that. I am making that.
Oh, that's merch right there.
Give that one a week, people. We'll have that up on Alien Addict. What do you think is going to come on Sunday? Do you think people are going to have a very different view?
I will if there's an alien involved.
Do you think people are going to have a very different view of Grusch on Sunday? Do you think it could turn very quickly? Or do you think people are going to be saying exactly what they're saying now and saying this is all just like what? I mean, it's hearsay.
That's it. But it's going to get juicy. They're going to talk about craft that are as big as 20 football fields or something. You know, they'll lay it on really thick and heavy.
I think no one is going to watch it except for people like us, and all the normies in the world are just going to watch the highlight reel and totally believe everything that's said, whether it's true or not. 100%
right. 100%.
It's gonna affect nothing. It's going to affect nothing.
So the normies gonna see the 10-second clip on TikTok. That's it.
The normie, yes, and they're starting to believe that there's something more, right? They're starting to believe that there's something more, but their narrative is getting crafted. And I don't understand the crafting that's involved or the steering of their belief, but it's clearly very important. They're very careful with the words they use, and that's interesting. We'll see.
Elaborate on interesting.
Fascinating.
No, come on, Dave. Because I mean, I want to know where this pipeline is going to lead.
So do I. Well, the pipeline. I was going to throw a mom joke in there. I decided to let it go. I just want you to know that. I just wanted to acknowledge that I had one ready, but I let it slide.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you managed to talk yourself down.
It was difficult. No, so I mean, they keep phrasing it right that it is non-human. They don't say extraterrestrial. They say non-human.
It's an orangutan.
They're very careful in saying that. Why do they carefully frame it that way? Why are they so careful in how they frame these discussions? You know, it's not just that they're starting and using different words and different acronyms for groups to one kind of keep you off balance and off your toes, but they're trying to move you away from UFO. They're trying to move you away towards something. And what is that? Why is that?
It's non-human.
Holy shit! You mean the moving it? So like they did with UAP, they're moving it from they moved UFO to UAP. They're moving alien to non-human.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why does that language matter so much?
Because they've been here all along.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were here first.
I would guess.
Maybe they were here first.
God, my wife says, see if you actually look at the guy Grusch and his hands and the size of the length of his thumbs and stuff. I mean, the guy looks like a fucking alien. She was like, he's an alien. She never says things like that.
Maybe he is.
Let me see Grusch's thumbs. Gotta see those thumbs.
Gotta see the thumbs. I can't say actually look
weird.
Thumbs.
He's got a big thumb.
That's a big thumb. I've got pretty big hands as well.
But not thumbs like that.
Maybe. Yeah,
I got a giant palm. That's just from practice in my youth.
I've just got an average hand.
It looks quite small, actually. I'd say.
Actually, it looks very. I was going to say, it looks extremely small.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a Coke, right? It's a normal
bit
Coke.
Trump-esque.
Yeah, it's tiny. Tiny hands.
Thanks.
It's normal 12-ounce Coke.
Not a Coke, it's a beer.
Was that normal 12-ounce beer?
Me with Coke.
12-ounce beer?
No, you know the little cocktail mixer.
That's what it looks
Coke
like, right?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what. Yeah.
It's a mini can. Okay, yeah.
Your hand's still
Got hands like Willow.
Ollie's massive monitor isn't even a monitor; it's an iPad.
This is phone. Can't swear on YouTube, Ollie.
That's us just lost another 3 folk.
No,
I'm excited though. Like I
Yeah.
mean, even if it's complete bullshit, if we get something else from from this supposed incident, I think. See, this is right. I think Mr. Reckless Ryan's wrong here. Sorry, just normally tune out when you say aliens or spaceship. I don't think they do. Not now. I think you can, even in the UK, you can go into a pub with people and have a conversation about UFOs. That was never a case.
You can now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
You get headbutted before.
Yeah.
Well, see, maybe, and maybe Reckless Ryan's right, but so when I talk to my friends, right, they immediately say alien. Now, granted, they're saying UPAP and all these things, and non-human entity, all these other whatever. They're the ones that say to me alien. They say, "Hey, did you hear about the aliens?" So even though they're using these as a language, they're interpreting themselves as alien or extraterrestrial, or just running to those assumptions. So it's not off-putting to them. The only thing that really matters to guys like that and girls like that, or gals or women, I don't know. Everything's so PC these days. Is that they have the right credentials and they're, somewhat authoritative, and they have the positions in the background that matter. And to them, the normies can put confidence in. At least that's, sample size in a 1 here. So I don't know, maybe on a broader scale, that could be exactly why. Maybe that's why they're changing the language. I always believe when they started to change the language is because so many things were starting to come up that were going to be allowed to the Freedom of Information request. They wanted to change the names, right? They wanted to change common use names so that people couldn't figure out what the other programs were called. That's why they change names of programs all the time. That's why they use all these different names, because it makes it impossible to try and do a FOIA request on something, because you have to know what it's called, and nobody knows what it's called, because you have people that work for a program that's not even titled that program, that's subset under another program, that's headlined by another program, that's operating under some random office that has oversight by someone over here. They do that intentionally. Or if they really don't want anyone to know, they just move it out of house and put it in private hands, because you can't FOIA them.
I was going to say, for the most part, it seems like all these UFO-related things seem to be in private company hands, whether it's Skunk Works or... But I mean, funnily enough, actually, in the Greer documentary that he brought out this week, he calls out Lockheed straight to their faces and basically says that the Tic Tac UFOs are a product of Skunk Works. Yeah. And he's got no evidence to back it up whatsoever.
That's because most people don't even know where Skunk Works offices are. That's the truth. Like, most people don't like classified entities that operate within private governments. Most people have no clue where those offices really are, or what they really do, or how things actually work, or how you have companies within hallways that are 3 different companies all under the Lockheed Martin ban. Then you find out that they're all actually part of Skunk Works, individually contracted through separate companies. Will all have separate NDAs, working on projects that they don't even understand. They just know they have a part of it. That's how it works.
Most of the people in the UFO community, when and it makes me laugh and no disrespect to any of the channels that seem to know the shit, know, they're just reading off a fucking website. They have actually no idea of classified information. They're just reading what you are allowed to read as the fucking general public.
This is what we said last night on the Rockfin show that you can go and watch immediately after this show. The problem I think we have with we'll say like truther community is probably better than UFO community, because I think this goes for everything from fucking squatching to UFOs to whatever you want to talk about.
I like squatching.
But cool. Everybody has to have an answer for everything. But that's never been the role of the conspiracy theorist. The role of the conspiracy theorist is to ask the questions, not supply the answers.
I think the conspiracy theorist has died a death.
In a way, you're right, because it's become news. Because conspiracy theory used to be used to be fun. Like it used to be, I would go to work and I'd be working on my own. I'd stick my earbuds in and I would listen to whether it was the thing after midnight or whatever one was called, or higher side chats but
coast to coast.
Okay, yeah, but at
Love
some
coast to
point,
coast.
at some point, for an incident we should probably not bring up on YouTube, round about late 2019, early 2020, we realized that conspiracy theories were real. And conspiracy theory became news, and it stopped being fun. And that's where we are now.
It became a job.
Yeah, well, it didn't
That's
just
well
become,
said.
but it didn't just become a job.
Well
It just
said.
became a place of, oh shit, well I have to do this now, because even if I make absolutely no impact, at least if I can be honest and authentic about this stuff, then maybe I'll be able to look my son in the eyes in 20 years' time.
Yeah. No, it is. If it's not, it's job-esque. I think that's well said. I think it is. It's went from being the fun hobby to now you got to pay attention because there's so many things popping off. You know, it I don't know. It'll get a hold of you.
And it was about. Am I right? Was it about 5-6 years ago when the UFO thing turned very differently, turned to UAP, and people started to act very just odd. What's that?
The other channels suck.
Mr. Squatch, my lad. They do. Hashtag.
Mr. Squatch is going to come and meet us in Nashville.
Oh,
is he?
He's going to buy us a beer. I'll buy him a beer.
Yeah, he messaged me on Twitter the other day, and I said, "Well, we'll be there on that day, so we'll sort out." And he's gonna take a short flight, I believe, to come and say
First
hello.
live meet and greet.
Yeah,
Is he really? He's flying in? That's awesome.
Yep.
Anybody that wants to come out, where are we going to be?
We're gonna be in Nashville, you dink.
Yeah, but what day is it going to be? What day is it?
How many
gonna be?
times have we
That's in
covered this, Ollie?
Tennessee.
Exactly what
That's
bar?
the South.
Country music, home of country music.
Dolly Parton.
America,
Well,
Laurie.
she's
It's in
actually in
the
Galway,
United
but-
States of America.
What city and what date are we there? I know it's in the next couple of weeks.
What city, Dave? Tell him what city it is.
Nashville. Have you never seen the TV show Nashville?
Is that where we're going? Is it Nashville?
Nashville.
Nashville. That's where we're drinking. Is that...
I'm just doing the show like this now. I'm just doing the show. I can't listen anymore. I'm just going to make up the words in my head, and then I'll just speak, and we'll see if it works.
It's Nashville
go to
on the
the
21st. Nashville on the 21st. We will be downtown on Broad and 2nd, hopping around the bars, getting totally hammered.
Come join us.
Incredible.
Sure.
Right, on that note, I'm going to go and walk my dog and try not cut you off this week. So I will say adieu.
If someone says
please
leave,
do.
Stu, use leave. Don't use end broadcast.
Well, funnily enough, see
the
tonight,
browser.
I don't have a leave button. I have an end button. So I'm going to switch off my mic, switch off my camera, and basically just bug out the page.
Smash your iPad.
Smash my iPhone 13 to shreds. So, right, okay, I'm out of
See you,
here.
Stu.
So I'll see you again. Cheers.
See you later, man.
See you, man.
I'm watching the broadcast like a hawk.
Okay. Listen, if this cuts out, don't blame me and hang around, folks, to reconnect.
Stu, we are
okay?
gonna-
It makes
we're gonna
sense,
play.
doesn't it? It's terminology that's used all the time. I remember the last time I was on a plane and they were giving the safety things, and she said, if you want to end the broadcast, the exits are here, here, and here.
Right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you, Stu. I like Stu.
I do too.
Those edits he's doing are fucking
I
awesome.
cannot fucking
Awesome.
wait.
The show's ended. Oh no!
I was like, oh, not again, man.
I'm so excited. I'm excited that we're working on that documentary with him. I'm excited to be doing the narration of it. Like,
I've heard that little clip of your narration. I like it. I do. Like it.
I was pretty happy with it.
You put your best voice on there.
I did. I put some work into it. I made
Did you lower it?
I made a little sound booth in my studio for it. So I'll be doing the same thing again.
We'll play for anybody who's just joined us, because I know the numbers have dropped again. Get back up to 100. We will be playing the new trailer for the new Bob Lazar documentary at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Man, so Mr. Squatch is really coming out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, man. That's crazy.
Show.
That's gonna be fun. Where's he coming from? Do we know?
It's Wednesday. We're in Nashville, yeah.
Wednesday the 21st.
Wednesday the 21st. So that's like we will be traveling down. So at some point, like in the afternoon, at some point,
we'll probably get there noonish.
Yeah, keep an eye on the socials. Like we will, like keep an eye on Alien Addict Twitter, my Twitter,
which is Alien Addict Lee.
Yeah. The TikTok is probably an excellent place. Alien Addict TikTok will be an excellent way to keep in touch with us while we're in the US.
We will destroy my 25 gig within days.
I will be ticking and talking all over the place. I'm sure there'll be some shorts that are there. I'm really looking forward to it.
We'll be sending Stu stuff as well. So Stu will be.
That's really weird. Media Mongol there said the only issue with Rockfin is speed. I go back to Dalek. I have no issue with playing stuff on Rockfin. Very strange.
We're also doing a ghost hunt on Sunday at a prison in East Tennessee that we've procured just for us for the night till like 4 in the morning.
That's gonna be so fun. Yeah. So much fun.
So we play by prison rules.
We need to make like we need to make one of those little helmet things.
What helmet things?
You know the
ghost
things.
Helmet.
No, the is it a ghost? Is that what they're called? The ones where you put the ping pong balls over people's eyes and like color the outsides in, so it's like a proper like sensory deprivation.
Oh, I'll just put a black bag on your head. I keep black bags around.
That's not proper sensory deprivation.
Oh, until you bit in one. Especially when it's laced with chloroform.
No, but you know the one thing where you isolate somebody, put them in a different room. We'll try some EVPs.
Yeah,
I'll
tie their hands, you waterboard them. I'm fucking fully aware. Believe me.
Just okay, but if you're going to do that, just let me have one hand free.
Nope.
Just one.
No, you got to suffer.
I don't want to.
You go until you climax automatically. You don't get to help it along. It's this torture. Yeah. The cock binder that gets in the way.
You had me cock binder.
I know I did.
So
salivating.
We've got about 15 minutes, I think, left.
Because we're on such a strict time schedule.
We'll go for 4 hours.
Gotta keep on schedule here.
I always find that I always find that hilarious on podcasts. We've only got like 20 minutes left. Why? Have you got like a 20 gig fucking iPad? No, like why do you only have 20 minutes left? Because you want to make yourself sound important.
You want to go have a wank.
We have all evening. We have nothing else to do.
I mean, there's been time that after this show I've been set up till 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Talking to guests that we've had on.
Talking to guests, talking to you, I had a really, really late one with Hidden one night. I was fucking hammered.
Hidden's not been on for a while. We need to get Hidden.
He came in, said hello in the chat earlier on. He was fucking high as giraffe pussy. He was so.
Oh, you talking about Hidden that time? Oh, I know, man. He was gone. It was awesome.
I love that man.
He's great.
So do I.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. I've done some of these sometimes not in my best form. Spaced out for hours at a time. Forgot that I was even doing a podcast.
This is the thing that I like about this, and this channel is probably the most childish and most unprofessional UFO channel there is out there, but we wear it with fucking pride.
Absolutely.
Because we're honest about it. We're not trying to be serious because we're not. And it's not a serious subject. You know?
Oh, hang on. Aren't we ufologists?
Definitely not.
I'm doing the ufologian right now.
No, I'm not. No, dude, I'm
ufologian.
No, we're all allowed within 100 yards of the school. Clearly, we're not ufologists. I can walk into any church I want. There's no restraining order. What are you talking about? I don't have to go door to door when I move. I know people I now live in the neighborhood.
Oh, my friend Susie says that we're allowed like that as well.
So no, we're not.
Can I get one last serious thing out?
You can try.
I'll try. So, I think when was the whole?
Dan's got been edging for this whole show.
Right, 7 years ago. Yeah, I think it was 7, maybe 6. I don't know. Somebody in the chat that is hardcore. You give me the answer to this. Something turned, and it turned into UAP, and it started to fucking drastically start. It became
the subject changed when it became a UAP.
Yeah, it became a different thing, a completely different monster.
That's because it got the official US government stamp of approval.
I think now we're on the verge of another turn. I think there's going to be a turn now. Something's going to happen in the next few weeks. That's going to turn this subject again to the next level. I don't know which way that's going to go, but I feel it.
Moody Muddle's right. Hit that like button. It's up to 69, which is a good number, but it's not the best number.
It's a great number. Great position. Great.
I don't know, man. Like I'm definitely of the people need a payoff now more than ever for everything. I don't think people can just be like, you used to have really dry news, for instance. America still has quite dry news, which is quite weird. I think it goes quite in contrast with American culture now.
We have the Kardashians, so we have to balance it out.
I suppose so. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. We have.
I always thought that was.
We had Philip Schofield, and he had a T-boy. But
is he allowed within 100 yards of a school?
Not anymore.
Bet he's into. I bet he's a ufologist.
I just derailed myself again.
What was this? T-boys. You were talking about T-boys.
No,
T-boys.
teabagging.
Teabags.
Trainings.
So, you need to pay off things now, and I don't think you can just the drip that's been coming along. I think you're hitting it. If the people that this information is actually hitting and landing with, then they want a photograph, and I don't just mean us. I even mean the normies.
Yeah,
they want something. Fucking give me something back.
Concrete.
Yeah, and I think that's coming soon. I think we will see something this year, like some sort of.
Do you think we're going to get that? You think we're going to get that signs clip?
Yes, I think it's going to be very similar to that.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And if you have a drip, go get a shot.
It's all pre-programming, man. Even for films, like it's pre-programming for things.
Definitely.
We have been prepped. We have been prepped for aliens for years. Like the only reason we're talking about aliens is science fiction. Remember that. The only reason we're talking about alien invasions is science fiction.
Yes.
Science fiction does take over. Like you don't see you see a bit. You do see a little bit of like fucking demons and shit like that, but. They take it, but they make fun of that where they did this. So
they say
they'll do the
demons.
Jason and they'll do the Freddy Krueger and the slash horrors. But there's very few very impactful.
Crazily enough, they save the demons for the children.
Yes, they do
for kids' TV shows. For there's a cartoon out now where a girl's dating fucking a demon. Like a teenage girl dating a demon. You have had Sabrina The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which was soaked in satanic imagery, soaked in it. Taylor Swift,
she's a
Taylor
teenage
Swift
witch.
now is essentially doing satanic rituals on stage, as are many fucking artists.
Mhm.
So that's out there. It's just not. It's not in the same realm. I'm one. I believe these type of things are connected with the UFO thing. I don't think it's a separate
issue.
Separate issue. No. In fact, I think we're going to do the next Rockfin show next week is going to be on satanic imagery and pop culture. So I'm going to try and do a little bit towards that over the weekend. So we've got some stuff to look at. That's going to be an absolute belter.
Yeah,
of a
Ollie has a
Rockfin show.
documentary to watch.
Yes, he does.
I will watch the documentary. I have to say, even though I was freaked out and some weird fucking shit genuinely happened after doing Aleister Crowley. That was it was a good
all three of
fucking
us
had terrible
Yeah.
dreams.
Yes,
that was
really.
that was a something kind of podcast.
I did fucking 3 weeks of Aleister Crowley deep.
That had, yeah. But oddly enough,
with your
I was
head.
listening.
Shut up, Dave.
There is a great podcaster. Her name is Chiller Queen. If anyone wants to go on, she does blocks of 3. She'll do like 3 episodes on conspiracy theories. Then she'll do 3 episodes on true crime, and then conspiracy theory, true crime. She's hot as fuck, and she's got an amazing voice, and I think I love her. But she did an episode.
So you're going to be in Nashville?
Yeah. No, she lives there. She doesn't need to know.
Oh, that's that house we're going to. Now I see why we had to. I see why we had to rent that particular house. I got you.
Yeah. She did an episode on Aleister Crowley, and at the end of the episode, she turned around and she said, she did 3 episodes on like satanic stuff, and she ended with an Aleister Crowley episode. And at the end of that episode, she said, I'm so happy to leave this stuff behind because I haven't been able to let it disappear. And she talked about having like terrible nightmares when she was looking into the Aleister Crowley thing. Yeah. And the minute I
can fucking relate.
Well, this was the thing. I even thought about tweeting her and saying, "Look, we did a fucking show on that." And then I thought, "No, you sound like a right psychopath." So I didn't.
You wouldn't.
But I am. But it would look out of place with all the dick pics I keep sending. But
I hate those pictures.
It might have been for the like you're any better. You should get that prolapse looked at, by the way. That's not healthy.
That's not a prolapse.
Casey Lee,
this is foreskin.
Is absolutely on it. He knows what's going on. Ben Jones also knows what the fucking score is.
You should definitely check out our Rockfin. That's where we talk about real things like this because we're not allowed to here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. You know, we could, I don't know. There's lots of things we can do when we get to Nashville. We'll see. Getting some hot chicken is going to be one. Meeting Mr. Squatch in person is going to be another. That's going to be interesting.
I've already been told about this hot chicken, by the way. I had a guy at work today told me he'd been to Nashville. He said the chicken is amazing, but he also told me that he got fucking strip searched by 2 fat guys at the fucking Nashville airport. That is tiny. He said as well. It's a tiny airport. He said,
but you're not going to the Nashville airport. You're going to
no. That's why Ollie's asking if there's any chance we can go to the Nashville airport instead.
No, dude. If you want to get roughed up by a couple security guys, I said we'll make that happen.
He said they fully got him fucking naked.
Was he talking shit?
Probably. He's quite young.
Yeah, I mean that's why they did that.
Good lad, though.
But that's
might be watching tonight.
That doesn't seem very likely unless they thought like they alleged a drug dog hit. But I'm gonna be curious what's gonna see because your tickets are kind of associated with me in a way, and curious what's gonna happen to you guys.
I mean, realistically, like I always think about doing stuff like this. Yeah, we're pretty fucked. No, like anyone looks in, and anyone looks into us like, oh well, what do you do? Oh, you do this, right? Okay,
aliens.
Yeah. Anyone that hasn't subbed to the Rockfin yet, which is a few of yous, like thousands of you bastards, The link is in the chat right now. And Oliver, if you could copy and paste that into the description of the video, that'd be great.
I will do. We've got how many have we got now? Like
106 people have subbed to the Rock Film, which is pretty good, I think.
This, without going too much into it on YouTube, this is the thumbnail for the show we did last night.
You could play the trailer because that's on YouTube. The documentary is on YouTube. You can play the trailer.
Let's play the trailer. Fuck it. Every video goes yellow monetization anyway, so who cares?
Under the new rules provided by the COVID-19 emergency, many other elected leaders were empowered to show their true colors. Interesting how they all marched in perfect lockstep while chanting the same slogans.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity.
Here we are now with an economy in crisis, but with an incredible opportunity.
It's certainly a major crisis, but it also offers us a unique opportunity.
Unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset.
The great opportunity for reset.
Opportunity for us to reset.
For a reset.
It's almost as if they all attended the same school of thought and studied under the same professor.
Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, distinguished heads of state and government, the future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room.
Nearly went into the full intro then. That's the intro.
Yeah,
for the show.
It was a good show. You should all go and watch it immediately.
And you should tip us in crypto.
Yeah, you can do. You can if that's the
I don't
thing.
know what that is.
even if you're watching back on that, you can press the tip button and help the channel out, which is always going to help us.
Absolutely. Or you could come a Patreon, buy a T-shirt,
or come.
I'll just put I'll just come to Nashville and buy us a pint.
Can we all be dead honest here as well? The whole Rockfin and Rumble things are just to pacify me because I fucking live for those shows. That's where Lee wants to be. Lee wants to be talking about that sort of stuff because aliens aren't real.
And I love the alien stuff, so it's a good mix.
Yes, they are.
But it's molding into something. And I think that's
they want it. That's for sure.
Apparently, News Nation just released a video, Ali, if you want to go and find it and bring it up before we disappear.
Fuck my vagina.
No.
For
the last time, no. Your mom on the other hand.
Exclusive live on Alien Addict. We're gonna
exclusively reposted.
We're gonna
exclusively reposted by 3 idiots on the internet.
Right.
Coming to you secondhand and hot.
Combined IQ of 85. Here's our commentary.
So what? News Nation, and they've just posted. Oh my!
What's your
God.
IQ? It's our combined age.
Is it the one?
That's
3
not
minutes
good.
ago?
No, it's not.
Right.
If we work together, though, we can wash dishes. So a dish at a time.
Here we go. I've got it. Look, see.
The committee is in the beginning stages of planning a hearing on. The House Oversight Committee is in the beginning stages of planning a hearing on UFOs. This follows claims from a whistleblower that the U.S. government is keeping secret its studies of an extraterrestrial craft. Air Force veteran and former intelligence official David Grusch sat
How many
down
times
with
did you walk down
investigative
there?
journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation.
He doesn't skip leg day.
Coulthart is an award-winning journalist and author who has reported for the Australian version of 60 Minutes, as well as other programs. He has spent years investigating the UFO question. Grusch said the military has kept a UFO program secret from the public and from Congress for decades.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles.
Is this different?
Call it spacecraft, if you will.
No.
It's probably not the right parlance, but
maybe.
No kidding, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
We get Alan Partridge again there.
The revelations of
Hang about. Why is that changed? Why is that different to what we've just played? That's the wording's slightly different there. It's like a
Yeah,
different
it's obviously been edited slightly different. I think that there was a natural clip, maybe unedited.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Oh,
But
by the way,
at least this is the new video. Carry on playing it, yeah.
Grusch, if you are watching this, my lad, you are going to go bald in 2 years, but it's okay. There's things you can do.
I thought you were going to invite him on
In
the
a
show.
slew
He's
of
not
articles
insulting.
this week, some calling for full disclosure by the government of any and all information on non-human aircraft. And the interest in UFOs may only intensify as Congress gears up for this hearing, when we could hear from David Grusch, this time testifying. Investigative journalist Ross Coulthard, who interviewed Grusch, joins us now. And Ross, I got to tell you, the public reaction to this interview has been really strong and deeply divided between those who've long believed the government has such craft and those who believe that those who do believe it are wearing tinfoil hats. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised in the least, Elizabeth. I think we're all entitled to be sceptical. I think what Mr. Grusch wants, though, is for his allegations to be tested. I mean, one of the things I think that people need to remember is he has given evidence under oath to both of the intelligence committees in the Congress, the House Intelligence Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee. And he's also given evidence under oath to the Inspector General of the intelligence community. And his allegations have been supported by the Inspector General as being both urgent and credible.
When you say his allegations were found, I mean, the IG is taking the complaint, it's urgent and credible. Is it urgent and credible that he suffered some sort of blowback for trying to make this public, or that his actual story itself about extraterrestrial craft is urgent and credible?
Well, what we do know is that in support of Mr. Grusch's allegations, a number of people did testify in camera to the Inspector General, and they supported Mr. Grusch's allegations. We know that Mr. Grusch has given allegedly the locations of where these craft are stored, the names of the people in charge of the program, and the gatekeepers allegedly controlling access to that program, both from within the Pentagon and from apparently a private aerospace company.
And you did very carefully vet David Grusch before you sat down with him.
Absolutely. Mr. Grusch is, I've spoken probably to a dozen people in the intelligence community who've confirmed that David Grusch is a person of absolutely impeccable reputation. He left the military in April with high commendations from his commanders.
Reminds me of Prince William.
As was seen by people earlier this week in the debrief,
in a good way or a bad
by
way?
Leslie Kane and Ralph Blumenthal,
Just in a look way.
there are people who've spoken on the record in support of Mr. Grusch's claims, including a bird colonel called Carl Nell, who's basically supported the fact that, quote, we are not alone.
10 seconds.
Extraordinary allegations that I know require require extraordinary evidence, but the simple fact is they need proof.
I got to ask you 10 seconds. Do you believe him?
I do. I think he's highly credible, and I think his allegations should be investigated.
All right. Ross Coulthard, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Good to have you on the show, and congratulations on the interview. And tune in this Sunday to hear new exclusive revelations about this alleged secret government
like
program.
Nancy Pelosi.
As part of an
So no
hour-long
disrespect
special,
to.
We Are Not Alone, the UFO Whistleblower Speaks. It debuts exclusively on News Nation at 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll be followed by a live hour of in-depth analysis anchored by News Nation's senior national correspondent, Brian Enton.
Thank you for watching. Go to
Is that tomorrow?
newsnation.com to find News
Yeah,
Nation
yeah.
on
That
your
means
phone.
we don't. No,
Vision
that,
provider. And don't forget to click the red
9
subscribe
p.m.
button
Eastern.
below.
So that's on Sunday. Is it tomorrow?
It's 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Is it tomorrow or is it?
Well, it's 9 p.m. Eastern.
No, it'll be Monday.
It'll be Monday.
Monday, right?
9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, so you guys are.
We're gonna have to do a fucking show on Monday, like nipples.
Kinky.
Yeah, cool. We can do that.
She's got a great mouth.
Make it for 10 then. If
I'm
we're
gonna,
do
yeah,
show
I'm
Monday,
gonna
we'll
say
have
I'm gonna
make it
have
for
to.
10.
It would have to be for 10 for me anyway because I've got my kids and I'm going to my mum and dad's for dinner because my grand's there.
Well, there's still 64 people here, so let's lock that in then. For Monday, we'll do a show to talk about that.
We did a show.
We have a show
Sunday
tomorrow
as well.
too.
We do have a show tomorrow.
Yeah, we have a show tomorrow.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Sunday. The 11th.
Yeah.
Going out tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a show the 11th. We got a lot of shows.
Maybe
somebody will start watching them.
It's almost like we should be getting paid for this, but we're not. It's weird.
So you can either hit that thumbs up and help the algorithm to give us glory and moisture
and share it. Like that's the other one. It's like just hit the share button. Like the thumbs up helps in the algorithm, but like if you have social media, like either your Facebook or your Twitter, then if you share it to one of those, chances are if you like something, your friends like something. That's the way friendship circles work.
A share on actual social media means actually more to us than a $1 super chat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because if that goes to fucking loads of people, and don't get me wrong, we love the super chats because it actually keeps us going. It pays for the stuff we use, blah blah blah. But sharing the stuff we do, as idiots that we are, because we have a few beers and we have a laugh, and that's what we do because we actually work for a living in the day and then do this on the night. Kind of work, yeah. I still ring these guys in the day job. I hope my boss isn't watching this because I think he's a fan. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Thanks, Wild Ascension. Don't feel bad about not dropping us any money, but thank you for the like, share, and subscribe.
That's the beauty.
Yeah, that's what's key. Sharing it. I don't know. We'll see we just have to see what pans out, man. We'll have to see what pans out. Whatever it is, it's clearly not that urgent, or they would let it out now. So they're building. I'm curious the film footage from Vegas, what that's going to look like.
That I'm more interested in that than what your man's got to say, because I think we're just going to get a second-hand David Fravor here. At least David Fravor's story, he was supposed to have seen what he was talking about.
But I'm willing to sit back before I Grusch.
Can we just start saying? Why can't we just use his first name? Is his first name David?
David, yeah. Because
why don't we just call him DG? DG.
Is that a common name?
DCG.
Grusch? David?
No.
David's
a very common name.
No, but I've never heard of that name before. Grusch.
No, you've probably never heard of my full name either.
No, that's very true.
Yeah, I'm the only one with it. It was issued.
Yeah, most people don't have. Most people have letters as names, not numbers.
Nah, everybody's a little different. They're Roman, whatever.
So what we're doing Sunday?
Orphan Red Sasha is coming on. Yeah, she reached out a while back, and we set this up weeks ago.
It'll be good.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, she's a great conversationalist.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be remote viewing. I think there's going to be some alien stuff.
She needs to remote
Black Knight satellite stuff.
Fucking aliens.
What?
Right? Black Knight satellite remote viewing. I think that's the keys for the day.
There's something you don't hear much about these days. This is the Black Knight satellite,
which I find very interesting. We know it's been around since the 50s, since they first started picking up signals from it.
There weren't no fucking satellites then.
Not only that, it's in a polar orbit, which we figured out how to do much later. Yeah.
Very strange.
I see. I've interviewed remote viewers before. I don't know what to make of it. I don't. Apart from, and Rich, if you're watching this now, love you, man. You remember Rich Northwood? Bald
Yes.
Rich?
Yeah.
Great guy. You're going to hate me now. I'm just calling him Bald Rich. We are bald. He's got a lovely bald head.
He's got a great bald head. Oh.
Kind of like after his fallout with Goof on Rich, fell out with me. I have no idea. I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong.
But I would like, we were talking about this the other day, me and you, won't Willie. We'd like to get Rich back on.
Ollie's lost all his riches.
keep losing my riches.
It's true. It's true.
I looked at Northwood as like a kind of like
Maybe we could get him back. We could call it Operation Northwood.
Dun dun dun.
I'm gonna email you, Rich. I'm gonna email me. I'm gonna email you. Yeah, miss you, man.
Oh, Dark Skies for Guys here.
Hey, there's Dark
Skies,
Skies. What's up, man?
Everybody in the chat, if you want to watch fucking great documentaries about UFOs, go hit the subscribe button on Dark Sky Files. He has got an absolute fucking plethora.
Yeah,
he has.
Do you know what it is? There's a load
Everything.
of stuff on there which reminds me of old school YouTube.
He sent us it all as well, Lee. He sent us it all.
Yeah,
got it all.
Did he? All the documents that he had on there? Wow, that's a lot.
All something stupid terabytes worth.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Good guy.
But yeah, go and subscribe to his channel immediately. Do it now and come back. Unless we're going
now.
Do it.
So again, we're having a meetup in Nashville for anyone who wants to come. It's on the 21st, right? It's going to be sometime that day, probably after 12 noon, sometime after we have lunch, so we can power drink the rest of the evening, and smoke cigars if that's even still allowed in Nashville. We'll see. Hit up the celebrity bars, less known bars. Try and stay out of too many of the yuppie areas. We'll definitely be in the touristy spots. Yeah, that'll be all right. I can show you guys where I used to work when I worked on 2nd Avenue. We can go visit the Nashville bombing spot where the terrorist attack was.
Where was that?
That nobody talks about on Christmas morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. The only time that street's closed down.
How far are we from Georgia?
Is that where Elvis is?
We're pretty far. Oh, no,
are we?
It's Memphis, Tennessee. Ollie, shh. Just be
grown-ups
pretty.
talk.
Just sit there and be pretty, okay?
And if you can't be pretty, be retarded. You're good at that.
No, Georgia. We're in Nashville. It's a ways. Like, what part of Georgia?
The bit where the Stones used to be.
Far.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Far. Like, that would be a whole day. That would be half a day there, half a day back. Like, if we leave as the sun comes up, we can go there, and then we'll get home late that night when it's dark.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fucking amazing.
It is going to be beautiful. I can't wait.
I've been this excited about doing something than when I used to like go like on tour playing with my band. I feel like I'm on an adventure.
I haven't been this excited since doing something since I remember first discovering wanking for the first time, and you get home.
Wow, this took a turn.
Yeah, you have to like.
That's a hell of a comparison. Bro.
Yeah.
But want to hear me how it?
Do you know there's stories about men that they don't get any, so all they do is talk about it.
I've got two hands.
He gets plenty.
It's
called a menage a trois, baby.
Two soft, small, feminine hands.
Think how big it must look in there. Really, it's good for him. The rest of us with giant hands are always disappointed. 8.5 doesn't look like it. Damn, your hands are 2XL. Yeah, it's a curse. That's the thing. You can be a giant guy with a huge one, but because you're so big, it's just all right.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Not only that, people look at you in the locker room. You're like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But if you're like 5'5" and you're rocking something like that, you're rocking a monster. Like, good on you. You're amazing. Dude's got the same one. Yeah, but you're like 6'4", bro. Look at you. Yeah, you should.
If you've just seen the thumbnail and you've wondered what you've just joined, it's about to end. Rewind.
Yeah,
it's very normal.
We're at the cozy
cuddle
cuddle bit now.
Yeah, that's it.
The love making's happened.
Should we play? Before we go? Shall we play the trailer for Stu's
Yes, of course.
new
we
movie.
should.
Yeah, that editing is so good.
It's gonna
I
come out.
can't wait. I can't wait till we can share more of it.
It's gonna
You've
be
got
good.
some work to do, Lee.
I do have some work to do.
Get on.
It's going to be out in July. It's called Bob Lazar, Secret Lies and Flying Saucers. It's going to be exclusive.
Remembered, sir.
It's because he's labeled.
He's
it.
bound
I'm not
for
gonna
one
lie.
tonight. He's bound for one.
Yeah,
I'm glad it was that one.
And on that evening, a single W was had.
This is going to be like a proper documentary. It's going to be, I think at the moment it's about just over an hour long. I think it's going to go into the 2-hour territory. It may get split into two. I don't know. We don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But this is.
Hell, he's a proper ufologist. He speculates even on the length of the documentary.
Boom.
Nothing's certain.
This is a long, detailed story. Robert Scott Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Is he worthy of our trust?
I'm known for working at a classified base.
Is there any doubt that he worked at Area 51?
Area 51.
What's really going on at Area 51?
We want to be accurate. Okay. Area S4.
I mean, I thought I set the record straight 30 years ago.
Welcome to your life.
No, they don't care how you get the placenta. If you want to join the Illuminati, you're going to have to take the Viagra. It's really the only way to get through it. You have to finish the ceremony. Yes, they're going to watch. There's not going to be that much mocking.
I have a funny
Just
story
part of
about placentas.
No, yeah?
The idea